Next up is Tory Butterworth. Tory Butterworth, PhD, works in mental health during the week and uses writing to maintain her mental health on the weekends. She is currently soliciting agents for her self-help book, Stop, I'm Eating My Feelings. She is also working on a psychological suspense novel that she describes as ER meets community mental health. Please welcome Tory Butterworth.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is the beginning of the book that Martha just mentioned that I have described as ER meets community mental health. The title is Birmingham Towers, which is a site I worked at once, and I always felt that would be a great name for a novel. So. Just an ordinary day on the way to work. I stopped for chai, voted, saw a dead man by the side of the road. He was dressed in a clean green t-shirt and tan chinos, not obviously homeless, a big man, in both senses of the word. He looked as if he'd been standing against the wall that separated 2nd Avenue from the Parkway and just slid down till he was sitting on the dirt. But his skin was pale, and he was tilted to the side in a way that you couldn't hold unless you were totally stiff. I think he was dead. I was driving past in the 25-mile-per-hour zone, but doing close to 40, and did a double take, like, did I really see that? It gave me a disconnected feeling, as if I wasn't attached to this planet. The 911 operator was nonchalant. Big guy, green shirt? I made a noise that indicated the affirmative. Already got that one. I thanked her and hung up. I was still standing in front of my desk, waiting for my first patient, when my diminutive boss trotted down the hall past my office. "How's your cold this morning, Marnie?" she asked in her chipper voice. I took 2 steps to stand in my open doorway. On my way here, I think I saw a dead man by the side of the road. Anne came to an abrupt halt. She searched my face with a combination of interest, genuine concern, and just a touch of shock. Perhaps she wondered, for a second, if I was leading her on. I didn't give her much time to wait in ambivalence. I took the last step out into the hallway, my back to the wall, facing her. It was on 2nd Avenue. You know the wall there next to the Parkway? He was sitting against it, like this. I slowly slid down the wall till my butt rested on the floor. Leaning rigidly to one side, I demonstrated the dead man's position. Madeline, the therapist next door, always scouting for human contact, poked her head into the hallway. "I think I saw a dead guy," I reported for her benefit. I returned to demonstrating the dead man's tilt. Anne, bless her soul, didn't look as if I was as crazy as the patients we treated here. "You're right, he does look dead." "That was today?" Madeline's voice rose slightly at the end of her question. She was obviously feeling for her bearings, too. I nodded. "Yeah, after I voted, on the way to work." "Was he registered?" Today's election was hotly contested, and none of us were too sure about the tactics of the other side would employ. "Yeah, maybe I could have gotten another vote for our party." We all started to giggle. I was feeling lightheaded, but maybe it was the cold. "I'm sorry, that must have been quite a shock." Anne was able to produce genuinely empathic responses for her employees on almost every occasion, and they never sounded forced. I slid back up the wall and dusted off my pants. An unnecessary gesture, as the rough hall carpeting kept my dirt and bits of paper to itself, but it made me feel more together. "I'm sorry," Madeline repeated Anne's sympathies, and we dispersed back to our respective offices. Another day at Birmingham Towers had begun. It was a few hours later that I saw her, as patient as a young Buddha, waiting outside the ladies' room door. About 4 years old, black, no visible signs of abuse or neglect. A bumblebee barrette just above her forehead indicated someone took pride in her appearance. Cute. I didn't give her a second thought till that evening when I saw her picture on the 6 o'clock news. Impossible to mistake because of the barrette. Missing. Please contact 1-800-555-0100 if you know anything about her whereabouts. I wondered how many people had called before me, able to give me more to give no more information than I could. I wondered if whoever picked up the phone would be as nonchalant as the 911 operator I had been spoken to that morning. Most of all, I wondered if this little girl too was dead. I hoped fervently she wasn't sitting against a wall somewhere, leaning at an angle that only rigor mortis could produce.